Good morning, everybody. I'm standing in the ceiling, kind of. I usually don't stand in my desk. My chair is in the way, so let me move it. All the wires that are connected to everything on this desk, you gotta be careful that stuff doesn't start falling down. Oh, I don't know where to look. I don't know where to move this. That's one thing. You got a standing desk. You got to have a place for the chair. You're not going to be standing for very long. So I did this for about 2 minutes last week, and I was not in the mood. No, I'm not on a treadmill. My back is hurting. So I'm going to talk about Easton, Maryland. Let's see if I can do this light. If I could reach it now. I'm scared everything's going to fall down. I have another version of this light that's heart-shaped. And the heart-shaped, I don't like that color. 2 or 3 times while I was sleeping came on in the bedroom. And I don't know what caused it to turn on. It was just like, it woke me up. I turned it off, and then I got up later and it was on again. So I unplugged it because I was like paranoid. So between these old lights and these cheap new lights, I don't like to play around with electricity, guys. I don't want any fire. I don't want electrocution. So let's talk about Easton, Maryland. This week is the Waterfowl Festival. I have a book from last year. Let me get it. Or was it 2 years ago? Hold on. So this is the attraction 2022-2023 Federal Duck Stamp James Hotman Waterfowl Festival Fall Events. It's got a lot of ads, a lot of properties for sale, a lot of ads. Mostly has white folks, white families in the ads. There's some churches, jewelry stuff, church tours. It's got something about veggies, which is interesting to me. There's the flower shop that's across the street. I tried to go in there and buy stuff, but the people in there were like super rude. And it was really dark. It was really awkward. Like, I couldn't see anything. So they do have the African American Quilt Guild in the back. And I thought there's the new hospital that's in Cambridge. I thought they had another Israel trip of a lifetime. Sorry, that's rude. It doesn't sound like a safe place to go right now. Eastern utilities. Oh, that's scared the heck out of me. I gotta turn these notifications off. Oh, that's scaring me. They had, there's volunteer opportunities. And I thought they had, oh yeah, they did. I was like, I know they have. To the very second to last page, they do have an article about African American exhibit. So, I mean, that could be a good spot. I used to always start in the back of my magazines. That's a good spot for ads. And then, of course, more houses that I can't afford. Already 20 million plus in sales since opening May 2021. That sounds like a low number. It's got at least, I had to stand this way now because this chair is bothering me. If I can turn it sideways. It's really bothering me. So this is actually 2021. How do I have 2021? Must not have gone last year. Wow. Trying to see how many pages. So 102 pages it took to have some representation of black folks. They don't have much. And Native people, Native Americans should be on page 1. That's my opinion. If it was my festival, I would just definitely do a land acknowledgement of whose land this was until it still is until somebody came over. And then there's nothing on Latino. Nothing. 2 pages, 2 half pages or 2 partial pages with some black Americans, which I believe is 30-something% where I am, African American, American blacks. This town, when I went to that festival which I thought was last year. I guess I was on crutches and all, like, not walking last year, so it was all a lot of money and a lot of stuff for sale that was in the thousands of dollars, and I didn't even go into any exhibitions that are like for the actual super wealthy, like the private stuff, or there's events that you have to pay extra on top of your um, um, entry ticket. We did see the bird show where they have, I'm going to call them homing pigeons. They had like owls and other birds of prey that they trained to come and do tricks and stuff. And I didn't like it because he said how ignorant owls are. And they're like, you guys think that owls are smart? Like, my school mascot was an owl when I was in grade school. Like, listen, guys. If an animal can live outside without the help of any other species, and they could survive and keep their children, keep having children, to me that's as wise as it gets. Like, I'm doing survivalism and, prepping, and I don't know if I would survive a day, like, and I'm trying to prepare for being able to survive for more than a day. I don't know if I can lean on this desk, so I'm going to attempt to. I was really offended because I like animals, and I like indigenous people. I want to say this land is your land, right? Like, this is not for me to trample over and make rude comments about you, but that's just me, guys. We did go into the school gym, the high school gym, and there was some, so 2021, a bunch of exhibitions set up. There was some food carts out back, or food stands, and then in town there's a bunch of stuff going on with all the shops and all the street activities. The streets are going to be shut off. There's 2 ponds. Oh shoot, we won't be able to go fishing in them. There's 2 ponds over here. They have the dogs. Retrievers, I think? I don't know. I'm not interested. I mean, I'm not educated enough to be giving this. They have the dog retrieval events, and we actually went to it before it was over, like 45 minutes before it was supposed to be over, and it was over by the time we got there. So that was pretty sad. I'm trying to see if I can find a schedule so I can show you. If you look at the pictures here, this might be the same that's online. You can see the representation. It's pretty much, in this picture, it looks like 100% white folks, including the volunteers. Volunteers, looks like that's a volunteer. They get free admission. Oh yeah, there's people wearing camo. I saw a lot of women wearing like camo fashion. So, my partner used to hunt, and we go fishing together, and he used to hunt waterfowl, and he grew up where you're in steps of being able to do that during the season. And it's interesting because I grew up on a lake in Michigan where my house was on a lake and my town was on a lake, and I feel like I expected to see, and maybe I missed this, so don't get me wrong, I expected to see more education about the history of waterfowl in this town and in this county and in the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I expected, again, talking about indigenous people, even when the blacks were brought here from Africa, when my ancestors were captured and brought here and enslaved, whether we were still enslaved or not, we have a history of doing hunting and fishing and surviving here in these swamps and rivers of this Eastern Shore. And it's not, in my mind, it's not like only white folks. It's like a sport that I'm not even sure there's that many people hunting. My partner says just way less people hunting nowadays, and it is different when you grow up somewhere and your family owns a ton of land, waterfront land, and or you can lease the land, which anyone could do this. They have a thing where you can lease the land. I don't know what it's called, so that you can hunt on somebody's property, and they'll have a date where you can sign up. I don't eat meat anymore. I would like to help my partner gather anything that's wild. People can share their seafood, their oysters, their crabs. We can go fishing, and we can figure out if someone's going to share their deer venison meat that can go in the freezer, so that he's not eating agricultural food, but eating fresh caught food, even if we don't catch it. So I like that, like homestead, like live off the land thing. But it's really hard when you're poor, and we keep buying all of the passes that we can go fishing, and we keep getting fresh water. I have yet to go freshwater fishing here. These 2 ponds I want to go, but not this weekend, because they'll probably be like, "You're in the show, get out, get out." Even though it's public property, or public, it's not like what does public property mean? Like a park. In my mind, it's like a park still has rules when you can do things, what you can and cannot do, where you can and cannot park, and what time of day. So what I expected was there would be more education, and there would be more handouts on, again, the history, talk about the land acknowledgement, talk about the species of birds, talk about the tools that you use, the decoys. And then I think they did have some children's events. So maybe that's where some of that is. Have someone who's respectful to the animals. Like, you see the people on Naked and Afraid, and they'll say, "Thank you for giving your life so that I can eat today," when they go fishing and stuff. And I appreciate that. It's not that to each their own, But I felt like just sad. And maybe owls aren't very smart, but I don't know. I see the little mice they hunt and capture, and they stay alive without the use of like credit cards and grocery stores. So in my mind, there's a whole different kind of wisdom in it. If an owl is wise enough not to take demands from a human, maybe that's what he's talking about. He's not as gullible to eat little bits of chicken. I don't know. But it was fun, because that was like the only event that we got to sit through the whole thing. And then there was the water slide, or no, I think the dogs, they threw something and the dogs had to jump into a big pool. I watched that and I laughed, and my partner was upset that I laughed, maybe embarrassed, because I felt like some dogs were so cute and they wouldn't get in the water, so maybe it was inappropriate, but I just thought they were so adorable, and like it was like cold or something. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. But so my take on it is what I said the other day, was thinking that there's not an exclusive or inclusive vibe to that. And if we were to go, it would be $50 for the both of us. And if you wanted to buy any food, it would be a lot of money. It's not like they're giving you a coupon that you could taste a crab cake, you know what I mean? And when we walked out the first couple of days, 2020, I was working all the time on the weekend. So I think we went to the last day, and every table and everything that I saw was basically more about supporting the local township with cash, and supporting the artists and the stores, the small businesses and big businesses, especially the realtors. There's signs up all over. They've been sweeping the street all morning, every day this week. The street sweepers gone in the parking lots. They're already set up tents. I thought it was going to start on Friday, but it's starting tomorrow morning for the VIP stuff. And I wanted to... I told my partner I had a bunch of lemons, and then I looked, and there's like no lemon. There's like now 1.5 lemon scoops. So I'm thinking about, let's write that down. I was like, if we need to go out and get something, we need to go. maybe tonight. It's Wednesday night. What do I have? I'm going to put lemons and masking tape. I forget why I need the masking tape. Why I want the masking tape. I'm just going to put that on there. I'm going to put more water gallons. Because we've gone through. I'm not going to want to go out Saturday and Sunday. I have some stash, but most of the stash water is used because I don't want it to go bad. It tastes like plastic. I feel like there could have been indoor at there's a Waterfowl building, which was the old armory. I don't think we went into there. I feel like most of these areas are set up for additional cost. There's a lot of tasting tents and alcohol stuff. And then there was a giant tent set up next to the high school that also had clothing like hunting and outdoors style clothing. I'm trying to remember if there had to have been more food carts and stuff out by the high school. So the ticket would pay for like 3 days and parking and shuttles and stuff. And I understand that vendors will pay a lot of money to set up a table, plus commissions on their sales, so that's a lot. Like, I was like, oh, I want to set up something that's like, I'm not going to pay $400 plus 35% commission. Like, I've never sold $400 worth of homemade stuff in my life. Like, not yet, anyways. In my whole life, I've sold like $30 worth. And it was something someone else made. Except for my little satchels. I feel like I didn't post my other videos this week. I feel like I want to set up a table right outside my freaking door because my trinket business is legitimately set up for here, and I just wanted to like maintain my space. I keep talking this past 30 days into you have space on this earth. No matter how many billions of people, you still have space for yourself, your family, your relationships, your business or your career, your side hustles, your vehicles, your pets. You still have space. Your spirituality, your recreation. And I feel like other people want to push other people, groups of people, out of their space. That's why the picture looks like the way it is. And that's why when I came out here from somebody who's been here, his family's been here for hundreds of years, and people want to say, that's what's wrong. There's too many people moving here. There's you guys don't belong. You guys talk funny. You guys mess up the roads. I was like, well, I'm accompanying someone who's been here, and people will send me emails about, people don't like you because you're not from here. I was like, neither are the people that don't like me. Just because they're 80 years old and have been here for 20 years, who cares? Like, my family was enslaved persons. I'm sure there's dozens of people that have walked on the very land I'm walking on. I sense it. My ancestors ended up in Richmond. And what is that? 2 hours away. Let's look at a map. But anyways, what it really is a bunch of folks of all ages out here. They'll drive their fancy cars. They'll dress up in a fashion style of camo, not just like I'm going to roll around in the dirt and spray myself with pheromones and be hunting for 3 days and drinking out of a musket. Like, it's like fashionable. And so it's just weird to me because growing up in Michigan, there's a lot of hunting when I grew up in the 80s. And so it's just a different vibe of, like, is this so that people are going to get their food for a year? No. It's because it's a town away from another big town where people can come to their waterfront vacation properties and their Airbnbs and their Tidewater Inn, and their other, what's the other one that's like over $2,000 per night per room. You find it easy. Just do a search and do it high to low prices. You can find it on your own. So what it really is a non-inclusive. I gotta turn that alert off because that is bothering me. Let's see. I'm gonna silence it. Alright, that's annoying. Okay. I don't care. My family, being in enslaved prison and an enslaver state means your people are bought and sold and taken all over. Yeah, 3-hour drive. What the reality is, who this is designed for, and how every shop on the street is getting everything decorated, fixed up, signs out front, A-board signs out front right now. They got all of the roads signed, road block off stuff they're starting to set up. They're not blocking the roads, they're just setting them up. They got all kind of trucks blocking the street parked in a non-parking spot. It's a mess already. Why can't I do a fourth quarter, end of the year, make most of my money? It's probably the same reason that I don't want to wait till the last minute to do my continuing education courses. I just want to start stuff in January, February. Like, come on, let's get the ball rolling now, so that when the daylight time is shorter, I can sleep at 6 o'clock in the evening, especially now. So, what the reality is, what the population in the city is, and when you go to an event, what is really there. Even if you're like me and you're walking to your car or you're walking to get your mail, and people will look at me like, you don't belong here. And I was like, oh yeah, you don't belong here. I live here. Like, get off my street. If you're gonna walk and mind your business, do what you gotta do. But don't get in my face because I'm walking to my car to go to my dentist appointment or whatever I need to go to that I'm paying for, you know. And that's where it hurts. It's one thing to show up and say, I'm interested in the dogs retrieving, you know, the duck toys or whatever they're called. Sorry if I'm offensive. And I grew up on a lake. I watched mallards. I watched, what is the taller one? Not cranes, what's the other one? I'm sorry, I'm so tired. So, in light of getting into a festive pre-Black Friday, pre-Thanksgiving, Christmas and other holidays, until we all have to get our treadmills and our organizing supplies because we've indulged too much in January. I told myself I was going to make videos with y'all and do the plates and just set up templates and then wash the plates and go ahead and get those stickers off and then go ahead and put some cardboard or some bubble wrap squares in between them so I could stack them and put them in one of these crates and make sure to put fragile on the crate. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I've got about 10 minutes to start and finish my language, and I don't know, my back hurts so bad. I went outside and the pain wasn't this bad. What in here is causing my back to hurt? Like, maybe it's because I was wearing my Doc Martens. Like, oh, it feels like I got pinched nerve, and it's not in the sciatica area. But yeah, so the reality of the events here and what I think it should be. I think it should be more inclusive. I think they should have a sliding scale. I think a donation only. I think that you shouldn't wall off some of these other exhibits because it costs that much more. But that's what they want. And they say that is what we make our money. And so part of me not being successful is because I feel embarrassed for that kind of greediness. Then I end up making zero. And then I end up in debt. And I end up paying more for like a raw point paying. Because I charged it and didn't get enough to pay the 3 cents. And now it's costing me $3,000 for one pen. Let alone I bought a 10-pack. So that's what my problem is up here. It's just absorbing how if somebody's mean, if somebody's greedy, if somebody's dishonest, I will feel like I will accept the blame and I'll feel guilty and then I will sink myself. And this is all my fault. If I'm an adult, the reason that I'm like this is because I was the scapegoat in my family. And I'm the scapegoat of society. When I'm a token at work, the only black person there, they want to try to blame me for all the problems. Like, I'm a part-time worker. I wasn't there that day. I had nothing to do with it. And they'll try to get me to sign the corrective action, you know. So, and they'll force me to sign the corrective action. They'll say, you can't work. You know, the first time they did that and they had me falsify something, that's in my permanent record. I should have just walked off the job. Do not incriminate yourself. It's hard, like, trying to take a plea deal for a crime you didn't commit. And you have the jury and all this evidence stacked against you that's not true. You're not even in the same state when it happens. But you know, if you're like me, you look like this. You're like, is it my word or the other lawyer's word? Or the prosecuting lawyer? My fingernail's broken, sorry. Who's gonna believe me? And the plea deal will give you a conviction. And it will give you so many years of prison and a permanent record. But the court, thingy, is going to get you potentially 25 years in prison. So you're trying to think of, I got to see my children, I got to see my spouse, I got to see, save my house, that I just bought because I worked hard. I was out of town working I had somebody who's black get accused of a crime at work. And it was potentially a felony, and it happened, and then she knew who did it, and they blamed her, and it was her day off, and she still had to get a really expensive lawyer and everything to keep from going to jail. And everybody, including the supervisor, knew she didn't do it. But guess what? She was black. This is not right, guys. So that's where I am. So guess what? I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't need to infiltrate this thing, this event. What I need to do is go on the underground and start your own event. Or be a part of another inclusive, Right? Sometimes I'm in events where there's only black people in the room, in the Zoom room, because they want it to be a safe space. I think that sometimes these places should have an Allies Day, because that's just me, so that you can have allies be like an allies event, not just to infiltrate your other events. So, speaking of events, I do have now $30 of money I can get food from Instacart, Grubhub. Shoot. Something told me to pick up this business card. People just randomly advertise at the post office. They just throw their cards and flyers and stuff up. So this one is for a place called Lotus. I keep spelling it with the number 5. What is up with that? Is this a new place? Pet oncology. What? It's coming up as pet oncology. No. Holistic. This is all, there's like too many places with the same name. It's weirding me out. Okay, let's put that address in there. Interesting. I'm just trying, you know what, let's go to their website. Oh, my website. I got an email that my website was taken off. It's not secure. Oh, I think I spelled it wrong. Oh, ONCOLOGY, hematology.com. No, it's not letting me do it. Weird. Pharmacy near me. Trying to see if I can click on it. Website. So how do I get away from feeling offended or feeling like I'm interested in something? Because my thing is I'll bicker about, oh, there's not enough education, oh, there's not enough people of color, oh, there's not enough kids of color and indigenous people whose ancestors were hunting, fishing, waterfowl, and fish on this land before any of these people's family came from Europe. My mind was thinking there should be a little boost for all people, and I feel like I'm not coming in to try to change it, because it's not my event. It does disrupt my life. But what I'm coming in is thinking that I'm going to come back the next year and find out, oh, what did I miss from that? Or what did I miss from here when they said it was going to go from 11 to 2 and they ended at 1? Like, my mind says, oh, let's try it again next year. That was fun. I have this thing where it's like, oh, that was fun getting out. Versus where I get to, like, oh, shoot, I forgot to do my language. Oh, it's 12 o'clock, it's too late. Where I'll be like, oh, it's fun getting out. Or, oh, it's, not for me. Or, oh, if I don't go, it's gonna make me feel like I missed out. And it's not like Monday morning I can go out and say, okay, never mind, I'm gonna participate. It's like, no, it's taken down. You missed it. You gotta wait till next year. So I kind of wish, in a way, that I didn't feel like that I can make a wise decision about the events that I go to and not get worked up to the point that it's distracting me, but like feeling the excitement of it all is kind of like, it's kind of like seeing the excitement of Christmas and the parades, but not really celebrating Christmas. It's like the hype, you know. It's like, ooh. My goal right now is to go do 10 new listings with this long hair just smoothed out of my head. Get 10 new listings on eBay, no matter what, and come back and check in with you, and within less than 2 hours. That's my goal. Will it happen? You guys put in the comments, do you think I can do 10 new listings? Picture, price, put it up on sale. Do you think I can do it? And if you think I can't, do you think I can even do one whole listing? Because I was going to do templates, because I didn't want to do some craziness in the kitchen. Everything got thrown around, so it's going to be hard to wash those plates unless I spend another hour washing everything else that got all tousled.